Brendan Cummins, Marty Morrissey in the commentary box. Now, at the moment, we think that replay will be next Sunday at 2 o'clock, but that is not confirmed. That's just the way things look like they are going to pan out. Eddie Brennan, you might be looking cool here in the studio, but I guarantee you this guy was sweating for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, just as much as Brian was on the sideline there for a long time. Yeah. But no, you'd have to say on the racks and absolutely blessed to get out there. I mean, it was going to need, we said it was going to need a goal. Waterford just seemed to be able to keep ticking over. But I suppose in a way, I'm going to be a little bit cold here. Waterford went away from what had served them so well all through that match. Yeah, and you just say, okay, I put it down to maybe a younger team that have put in, and to be credit to them, they put in a massive effort.
Yes.
But they didn't kill off that match. There was an occasion there, and I know there's one or two wides here that were touch and go. But for me, and I hate being critical of an individual player, but there was no one pushing up the field towards the end, right, to kill that match.
Yeah.
But Patrick Curran had a glorious opportunity of a ball in the corner. And for me, it was a case of take on the man or swing back out to open up the angle. And he went for a tight one. And I thought, look, not just that one, but the last 10 or 12 minutes, they didn't trust themselves enough. And we were, you know, Ken was roaring at him, look at the space. Someone take a chance on hitting the space and just keep the ball up there. And you'd say they invited Kilkenny on, and Kilkenny got the break.
Ken McGrath, I think Ken expended more energy up here in the studio than he ever did down on the pitch. Ken, first of all, look at the positives out of this, right? That was a great performance by Waterford.
Look,
and they had the All-Ireland champions on the rack all day.
Look, without trying to play it over the top, it's one of our bravest ever performances in all fairness. It's 57 years since we beat Kilkenny. It's not easy. It's the one day today I was hoping there'd be malfunction with Hawkeye. It cost us in the end. Like Kevin's point to put his 4 up would have been massive. We got sucked back a small bit at the end, but when you're waiting so long to beat a team, and a team of Kilkenny's quality, sometimes that can happen in your general play. The last 4, everyone retreats back, and it did cost us a small bit in the end. But I'll be honest, hats off to the boys, and hats off to Derek, Dan, and all the management for doing what they done, going toe to toe with Kenny. I think we'll get confidence from it, I'll be honest. I think players thrived on playing the big occasion again in Croke Park today. They seem to relish it at times. Last 5-6 minutes, unbelievable pressure. But it was a brilliant game. And I honestly think it's one of our bravest ever performances.
And I think, Sherlock Nan, from the neutrals' point of view, finally, that was a real championship hurling match.
Yeah, but were there any neutrals around? That's the question. It was just like, you had 2 teams of absolute heroes down there in the field today. That's the first thing that has to be said. The quality of the 4 things we said at the start, the work rate, the physicality, the ball winning, the skill, was absolutely of the highest order. Kilkenny showed why they're Kilkenny, you know, why they're winning so many All-Irelands. They never give up. Now, they should have been beaten out of sight, but when 20 points to 23, we all agree that was a crucial time. You know, 5 wides in a row for Waterford. Kilkenny had none. They'll rue that, but a brilliant game for us all here. I haven't enjoyed a game like that in a long time.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, I want to say hello to Anne Duggan. She's down in Portlaw, down in Waterford again. Anne is a great Waterford supporter, never misses a match. She did miss this one today through illness, but I've no doubt she'll be around for the replay. And speaking of the replay, Eddie, the question was put to you today.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think Kilkenny have definitely room to come back and improve. Definitely, you'd say a lot of players were anonymous today. They were outfought, which is something that is absolutely fundamental to Brian Cody's psyche. It's very simple, and Waterford came with him. And like I said, look, I was being a little bit cold to Waterford from that point of view, but they were superb. They out-Kilkenny'd what you would typically associate with Kilkenny. They just weren't able to, a tiny fraction of composure, but you'd say definitely Brian Cody goes back this evening, you'd say he'd be, you know, casting the eye towards a few guys and say, look, you were out battled, you were bullied today. It was played on Waterford's terms for large periods, but in fairness to them, they still hung in. You'd expect, look, the next day for Derek, I suppose the dilemma is he changed it, went with this today, it worked a treat, it just didn't get them over the line. So now I suppose what do you do the next day? So Kilkenny will sit back and have a good look at it. But look, if we get half the enjoyment out of the replay next weekend, it'll be brilliant. It won't be good for the hearts, but it'll be enjoyable anyway.
In actual fact, you know, during that second half, Chair, Eddie was saying to me, he was mentioning one or two players from Kilkenny's point of view that he said just weren't involved today.
Yeah.
And you would never think that that would happen 2 matches in a row. from
Especially to
Kilkenny.
their forwards, because they were absolutely. You were saying that, Richie Hogan is going to pull them out of this hole that they're in.
Yeah.
Because even the fellas like TJ Reid, who are normally so good, they weren't on the game today. Mick Finlay wasn't in it at midfield. Kieran Joyce at centre back. Austin Gleeson just cleaned him out of it completely. So, when you look at it that way, and you see most of the stars today really were on the Waterford side, especially Patrick Mahoney, Austin Gleeson in the forwards, you would have to say that, Kilkenny got out of jail. Cody knows they got out of jail. Now, look back over the history when Brian Cody was in charge of Kilkenny. Galway in 2004, Clare in 2005. You can go back through different years when they escaped with a draw, and the way they came out the next day. I think today was Waterford's real chance. There was 5 minutes to go, 3 points up, retreating back into defence. And even it wasn't lost at the end. Do you remember when Patrick Mahoney scored the point from the free in the 73rd minute? They retreated again, and they left all the centre so that they could take a shot puck out to Conor Fogarty in the middle of the field. Nobody on him. I mean, it was inexperienced, I suppose, in a way, but it was kamikaze to do that. It's just a shame because the chance was there for them. That hasn't been there since 1959. They never came as close since 1959 as that.
Yeah.
It'll be some job if they can win it the next time.
Oh, sure. Just to take up on that point that Ger was making there, because I think this was exasperating all of us watching the match for that last 10 minutes or so. We're looking down here and saying, they have no forwards. What are they doing?
Yeah. But look, I suppose, as I said, when you haven't beaten a team in so long, you end up probably retreating back, trying to stop that ball. And at times, look, that's what caught us. Fogarty, a brilliant score in all fairness to draw the game. But look, if we get half the game next week, we'd be happy. As I said, the 4 best teams are left in the championship, and that really ignited the championship. That was brilliant hurling. That was old school hurling, toe to toe, hip to hip. A few hurleys broken, a lot of shoulders given. That's what we all played when we were young, growing up. That's what we enjoyed watching and enjoyed looking at. And Waterford especially, Kilkenny are doing it their whole life. So that was brilliant to see. And it's really after kick-starting the whole thing. I know it's the 7th of August, but if we get a few more games of that, it'll be a great end to the season.
And I would say,
to put another point or two ahead, we kept at it and got a great goal in the end there, and terrific last point as well.
Just thought we worked hard. It's no secret what we're doing, just working hard, similar to what we've done the last 2 years. We've worked extremely hard all over the field, and I was very confident on the ball, and just delighted with the overall performance, bar the result, obviously.
yeah, a real ding-dong battle there. Everyone, I think, left Croke Park buzzing today. Replay in Thurles next Saturday evening. I suppose, Anthony Daly, that was exactly the point about this game today. I mean, it was disappointment, I suppose, for Waterford. They didn't win and so on. But everybody enjoyed the match and everybody said, now that is a game of hurling.
Yeah, huge, Michael. You know, we've seen so many tactical, tippy-tappy stuff, and today we got real mano-mano, you know, match up, what we crave. Like, I love all sports. The Olympics on at the moment, that's my Olympics today. To be there today, such a privilege. What an epic game of hurling. And, you know, I suppose Waterford would feel maybe it got away, but they didn't lose it, and they have a chance to go again in 6 days' time.
Well, this is it, Shawnee. The real issue now, I suppose, is how Waterford deal with this, because they nearly won that match.
Absolutely, Michael. But listening to some of the interviews during the week from Derek McGrath, I sensed, you know, a real sense of confidence. He mentioned words like evolved and changing and sort of coming together as a united bunch. And I think he really evolved today as a manager. He sort of abandoned that sort of tactical game to an extent. I think they kind of went towards the end of the game, but there was an abandon about their play today, a freshness, a real injection of life in their performance. And hats off to him, and hats off as well to Cody, in fairness. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's got an incredible stat, 82-odd games. He's only had 8 losses, like incredible numbers. So hats off to the managers as well, in fairness.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, the other side of it is, this is almost like a cliche, Anthony. We talk about Kilkenny, they're never beaten and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But today was proof of it once again.
Absolutely, Michael. And just from Brian's interview,